Alright guys, how's it going? So I've just got a free copy of the ZL Equalizer 2, which someone recommended to me on one of my comments on a recent video. So thank you to that person. And yeah, I often teach people on Ableton and FL as well. And I personally don't really like the EQs in those doors, you know. I know some people get along with them okay, but yeah, I'm not a big fan really, just because of the sort of shapes and stuff like that. But yeah, now if you're on Ableton, let's say you're new to production, you're on Ableton or FL, and you want to, what I think is probably going to be a better EQ, you can now get one for free. Get the ZL Equalizer 2. It looks pretty cool, and it could be a little gateway bridge towards getting the FabFilter Pro Q. But in many cases, you might not even need to spend money to get the FabFilter, you know? So this one seems to be pretty good. So it's on like a bass here. You can just double click and add your points as normal. I mean, it kind of works the same as how you would expect an EQ to work, really, you know? But it sounds fine. It's always like the low end where you got to get good sound quality, you know? One thing I like about when you do a high pass or a low pass, if you sweep the EQ by the point here, left and right, it's locked to the line. So, because sometimes I'll see students like they move it left and right, but they accidentally, you know, boost it or subtract with the Q here. But yeah, if you're worried about doing that, you won't need to worry, because it just stays on the same line always when you move it around, you know. So that's one good useful thing. But yeah, it's always the low end where it like is going to sound, you know, it's going to be the most important that it sounds good. But it sounds nice. Like taking out the low frequencies does a good job, you know. Anyway, obviously you can use the mouse wheel as well, which I like to adjust the Q shape. That's something I think I do on other EQs as well. So I can improve this bass a bit here. And then you can also do side cuts, which is super useful. Just click here, and then it's this one with the two side kind of semicircles, to moon crescents, and see, making it all mono. So let's see how this sounds in the low end as well. You can isolate and hear the sides on their own. Hear what you're taking out. So it's quite useful. Maybe we can do there's no 18 dB, but that's not too bad. I do like to do the 18 dB slope. Can be quite. I think that's sort of my favourite one in the channel EQ on Logic, you know. But at least you've got a 12 and a 24. So that those are both definitely useful. I'd probably try the 24 versus the 12. I'd probably still stick to the 12 in this case. For doing something like taking out the sides, you just probably have to do a couple of those though, you know. They'll be a bit smoother when you do two. But yeah, so for that sample then, you know, I've tidied that up by clearing out some of the, you know, low stereo in that one. We can have a look at the drums as well here. We can do a similar thing like with a low, I'm not sure if there's going to be as much, you know, side information in this one, but just do it anyway, just in case. Go up a bit higher on this, you know. Maybe we want to give a high shelf boost to the drums as well. We could do a little, little high shelf here. See how that sounds. Yeah, I mean, personally, um, I think it looks good. I think that almost matches up, in my opinion, to like a fab filter or a channel EQ. Um, Realistically, I'll probably continue to use the channel EQ because I do like the 18 dB slopes on this guy. Um, and I've just realised it actually sticks to the line when you move it as well on the sort of Q setting. So it wasn't too unique to the ZL Equalizer after all, but that's not really that important anyway. So the one thing with the channel EQ, which is a little bit annoying, is when you do your side, you have to set a new EQ up to do the side processing. You can't do it like on the same EQ, you know, but that's no problem because I always have hundreds of EQs anyway. It's not really a deal breaker at all, you know. But yeah, I just kind of like the 18 dB slope still here. So you know, for me, I'll still be using the channel EQ. But I think if I was teaching someone on Ableton or FL Studio who hasn't got an EQ, I'd say this would be a great free alternative to getting the Fab filter for sure. It seems to sound pretty good, you know, unless I find out any more information about it, you know, where I think, okay, it's kind of, you know, degrading the sound quality, then I will let you guys know. But it doesn't seem to do that. It seems to generate, you know, a good, you know, sound quality. It's very important when you're EQing always, you know, to make sure how you're changing the sound isn't, you know, negatively affecting the quality. So, but it seems to be all right for that. Any other things I can say about it? I mean, when I opened it up, it was pretty small. It was like this. You couldn't even see the, you know, the frequencies. So just obviously make it a bit bigger, and then they come up here at the bottom, you know. But yeah, you can just search for the ZL Equalizer 2 if you want a free EQ, and it's got my stamp of approval so far anyway. Seems to be good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Just a little mini review and mini little guide for people who are looking for a free EQ. Yes, obviously some other shapes and things you can do in here. Tilt shelf, that's quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, realistically, just a peak or you know, peak, high pass, low pass, and high shelf and low shelf are really gonna be most of the things that you need anyway, you know. But yeah, it's great you can do the mid side. Also, I did this. You can actually do some other things, like I think you can do some side chaining, and yeah, even some like multi. I don't know if it does multi-band side chaining or you know, dynamic side chaining. I believe it does though. I haven't quite dived into that yet, but I'm pretty sure you could set it up to be like a dynamic EQ. But I mean, even without that, it's still a worthwhile, you know, EQ just for like the classic EQing, you know, just for your normal EQing jobs. If you're on Ableton or FL, then it's still going to be a worthwhile to get it, you know. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Thanks to the person who commented about this EQ, and it's great that we've got one now. I've got an EQ I can recommend to some of my students on Ableton and FL on a bit of a lower budget, so that's great. So thank you for that. That's it for today. I'll see you guys very soon. Take care. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment down below, and as usual, check out all the links. We've got preset packs, one-on-one lessons, mastering services, and a wonderful Patreon community you can all get involved in. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.